You're back on adults class, and here we have Mr. Smooth taking his seat, and in the classroom we call this one Mr. Smooth's classroom. My name is Mr. Smooth, and I'll be the lecturer for the lecturer for today. Alright, and last 2 weeks we spoke about vaginal dryness, and then last week we talked about vaginal discharges. We looked at various types of vaginal discharges. Today we're going to have a little recap, but before we zoom really into the classroom, let me acknowledge all the platform members. We have a WhatsApp platform called the Adults Class, and they are very wonderful people in there. Sometimes I'm amazed when people start bashing and then people start defending, and I become so excited. And then the man who called me last week after watching the Saturday repeat edition and was insulting me for showing sex positions, you were really funny. I really enjoyed the insults you gave me, but I won't be bothered. We are teaching married people and married couples how to make love, so I don't care what you say. Okay, we are educating people, and you can attest that this show is the most educative show here in the capital and also in the whole of Africa. Now, we have said several things. We taught here that you don't need a tight vagina. We said you need a strong vagina. You need to train the vagina. And then we have here small eggs that you can use in training the vagina. And if your vagina is not well trained, your husband will cheat on you. And if you are a virgin, you have not had sex before, or you have broken up a relationship, or you are not in any relationship, and your pelvic floor is not active, the pelvic floor muscles will go weak. When the pelvic floor muscles go weak, you will not enjoy sex. The man will struggle to have an ejaculation having sex with you. And I tell you, I'm not saying virgins should go have sex. I'm only saying that exercise the pelvic floor. And if you want to know the exact exercises you do, either with the egg or without the egg, you just contact me. My number is 0244 66 1011. And for those that have vaginal discharges, for those who have smell in the vagina, for those who have all forms of pain in the vagina, we'll be treating the vagina the whole of this month, probably into some part of March, because there are so many things we'll be talking about: endometritis, trichomoniasis, vulvanosis, vaginosis, vaginismus. We'll be looking at all these illnesses that women have, that they suffer them quietly, and we have a simple treatment that we can give you to get you well. Now the thing is, treatment, if it is itching or it is burning after you have sex, it means that you have bacteria vaginosis and you need treatment. And then also, if you have slight redness or swellings around the vulva or the vaginal vulva, you also have bacterial infections. And then we have another one we call trichomoniasis, and these are the signs of it. You have this yellowish discharge. It is yellowish, it is greenish, and it's bubble like. You see the discharge coming, and normally there are lots of them. It really has an unpleasant odor, and when you have such signs, you need treatment. And I'm saying that yes, we have treatment. We can help you deal with it permanently. And then also, most often after your period, you see this very funny discharge coming. Now, can these discharges be prevented? Yes. There's no need to actually worry about dealing with these things, because the vagina, normally you can't prevent them from some of these things, but there are some tips that you can use. After using the toilet, always wipe not from the front but from the back, because if you wipe from the front, then you're going to introduce some of the bacteria down to your Queen's Palace. But if you wipe from the back, then it's going to be really helpful. And even if you are washing and you are washing at the front, you go to use the toilet and you are washing from the front, it is possible you introduce bacteria in there. You have to find a way of washing from the back. That is a little difficult, but that is the best thing, the best way to do and keep the place neat. And then also, you should continue to use cotton panties, cotton underwears. This, you don't have to be using silk or very tight underpants, or keep on wearing the tight jeans, the tight clothes for long periods, because once you do so, you get heat there that messes up the pH of the area, and it allows unhealthy bacteria and other stuff to mess up the place you have. So avoid wearing tight panties, and then also swimming costumes, blinking sports. And you don't have to do these things for a long period, because once you do that for a long period, like you're wearing these tight things for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, the heat alone messes up the environment, or the natural environment that your private area or your queen's palace should have. And then also, if your laundry, I mean your detergents that you use, you start having some irritations when you use those things, change them. It's important you don't use those things that continue to irritate you. Now let's look at this too. There are some condoms that can also give you these irritations. You should also avoid condoms that will give you that. And I would say it here and say it again, it is best to abstain from sex when you are not married. That is the best thing you can ever do to yourself. And then also, some birth control pills and birth control stuff also give you those over discharges and all those things. So see, I mean, if you're not having sex and you're not married, it's best, but you need to exercise your pelvic floor so that your PC muscles will not go weak, because you're going to have lots of problems if your PC muscles go weak. And then also, you have to avoid those hot tubs. People steam their queen's palace. You don't need to steam your queen's palace. It is not fresh meat. It is not. You have to stop doing those things. And after all, you're not doing a stew there for you to put garlic and all the stuff in there. And then also, do your daily bath. And then when you do your daily bath, gently dry the place up. Make sure the place is dry, it is not moist, because once the place is moist, with the environment and all the stuff that we have, you're going to have infections. It's very important that you do not douche, because douches would also give you all these and also avoid these feminine hygiene sprays, colored perfumes, toilet papers, deodorants, and all the pad tampons and all the stuff that give you all these infections. Just avoid them. Yes. When you try one you feel is not good for you, just throw it away. Stop using them, because if you continue to use them, then these infections won't go away. And then abnormal discharges are completely treatable. They are treatable. I mean, no matter what they are treatable. But most people would use antibiotics, and when you use antibiotics, you have some healthy bacteria under there, and the antibiotics will kill the healthy bacteria as well. So if you really want to keep this place, you really want to keep that place intact, link up. Myself, the producer, just link up. We will help you deal with these things. Now to today's topic, very interesting. The vagina, how does it smell? How should it taste? Have you ever tasted it before? I know people have, my mouth. And then they say something, this is my mouth that I use in praying and all this stuff. Why should I put it in there? But I tell you, after today's lesson, I'm sure you will change your mind, because you will see that once the place is treated well, the vagina is strong, the vagina is healthy, you don't have any bad discharge, you don't have any bad odor, the place is clean, and you have everything intact. The pH of the vagina is neat, between 3.5 and 4.0, or you have no problem. You have nothing to worry about. Yes, it is normal to have discharges, especially when it's around your period and stuff. So now let's look at this. How does a vagina smell? Wow. Some time back I heard someone say that it should smell like onion. Oh, yuck. If it smells like onion, who put his head there? Alright, so the vagina actually smells a little misty, like sweat, and sometimes a little metallic. You feel this metallic feel around the vulva, especially around the time that a woman is having a period. And then the scent actually differs through the whole menstrual cycle. Depending on the time that you have your cycle, the taste actually changes. But I tell you, it is completely normal, because you have some good bacteria in there in the vagina, and they do the good job of cleaning and clearing the place as part of the normal thing, especially when you're going through puberty, as you're growing. the smell of the vagina changes, but it should not smell like onion. No. If it smells like an onion, there's something wrong with you. Now also, the vagina also lubricates, and then the level of lubrication varies from person to person. As you are aroused, becomes lubricated, and even as you enter into the menopausal age, premenopausal, postmenopausal, and as you age, the lubrication also changes. And this also depends on your estrogen levels. And I tell you, if your vagina is strong, if you're doing your vaginal egg exercises, you're not going to have these things I'm talking about. You're going to be normal throughout your premenopausal, postmenopausal, and for the rest of your life, you're going to enjoy free life. You're going to feel happy, and you're not going to have all the symptoms that most women have when they're experiencing their menopause. Yes, once the place is active, you're always going to enjoy yourself. And then also, there are certain medications that also affect, medications and drugs that affect the sort of lubrications that we have. And sometimes you need to be really careful with some of the medications that you take. And I would advise that any medicine that you are given, try and read the label that comes with it and look at the side effects, because some of them can give you problems. But there's one thing you should note. If your vagina is if the smell is a little strong, and you are concerned about it, it's important that you consult your doctor or you consult your gynecologist as a woman. It's important that you do so, because if you're not sure of the scent, of the smell of the place, it's important that you see a doctor to get that check. Alright, so now let's look at the vaginal fluids. You can see some picture behind there, some a little slim, some a little thick. These are normal, you know, depending on the type of, what do you call it, the time of the period of month that you are in. Now, where do these fluids come from? These fluids are sort of sweats. It's like sweating, like you sweat on the face, you sweat on the head. The vaginal fluids are sweats that come from the vaginal wall. The vaginal wall, either from the cervix, the back of the cervix, or in the entire vaginal wall, sweats. And that sweat forms the lubrication that a woman has, or the vaginal mucus. That is what happens. Those are the secretions, and they contain carbohydrates, they contain amino acids, they contain proteins. Haha, that is surprising to you, right? I'm saying the sweats that come from the vagina contains carbohydrates, they contain amino acids, they contain proteins, and some of these acids are produced by what we call the lactobacillus bacteria. Here it is what? A bacteria. So if you take antibacteria, that is antibiotics, what happens is, once you take an antibiotic, it will kill or destroy this normal and healthy bacteria called lactobacillus, which is very crucial to every woman. Now, what vaginal fluid should be clear. It's a clear discharge. It is usually whitish and a little egg-like, depending on the type of the time of the month or your menstrual cycle, and that is it. It normally has this egg whitish, like consistency. Now, once you are aroused, the body starts producing some of these fluids, and it comes from the glands. And then once you become aroused, the vagina will begin to sweat, and they begin to sweat. When you're having intercourse, they begin to sweat, they begin to sweat. And I tell you, while you're having intercourse, when they begin to sweat and they stop, it means you have stopped arousing yourself. It means you're no longer feeling anything. It means you are experiencing vaginal dryness. It means the place is not going to be slippery again. It also means that you're not going to enjoy the love making anymore. And normally, it happens when your pelvic floor muscles are weak. It happens when the vaginal rugae are flat. It happens when the epididymal cells are do not have enough estrogen in them. So it's important that you exercise the vagina. It is important that you treat the vagina well, so you have the correct pH for the vagina, so you can constantly enjoy love making. Very, very important. You need to understand this. Now, the question I'm asking is, what exactly is a normal taste of the vagina? How should it taste? Now you can see people eating ice creams. Don't mind me. I just intentionally put some faces there. The taste of it comes to like it's a normal fluid, and then it's a little stronger inside than the external. It is nice. It is normal, and I tell you that some it's not too sour, and a little perhaps because of the acidity of the area, it will taste a little funny. But I tell you, if the vagina tastes a little metallic, or it becomes highly acidic, this actually makes the vagina odor taste very the taste will vary, because sometimes it tastes a little the place is a little acidic, sometimes it's a little alkaline, depending on what you're eating. So the food you eat and all those things have a direct effect on the way your queen's palace tastes. Very true. Very, very true. So if the pH of the place is off, if it is lower than 3.5 and higher than 4, just as men should have the semen, the acidity of the semen should be between 7 and 8, so that when that of the men are alkaline, so that when a man ejaculates or puts sperm into the man, because it is alkaline, it will go and reduce the acidity of the woman's private area, so that the sperm can be able to swim through. Because if it is that acidic, all the sperm will die and will never be able to reach the ovaries for fertilization to take place. So the man's semen is normally alkaline, but if the man's semen is tasting sour, it is tasting acidic, it means the man is taking too much alcohol, or the man is eating too much meat, or the man is smoking, or either the man is smoking too much, or eating food that are not healthy. That is when the man's semen tastes sour. And when the man's semen tastes sour, after taking or tasting the man's semen, 2 or 3 days later, you feel something like a sore throat in your throat. You feel something like some phlegm in your throat. You're trying to bring out and it's not coming. It means that you have tasted semen that is very acidic. Correct? Now, in the same way, that of the woman, like I said, is between 3.5 and 4. Very normal. But if it goes off, then you can feel the bad smell. You can feel all those things. So because of this, it is not recommended that a woman douches. Because once you use douching or you douche, you disturb the balance of the vagina. And that is a place that you should keep intact. That's the place, the queen's palace, the most important part of you, and that is where you should spend a lot of attention and a lot of money on, not on your clothes, that area of you, because once that area is bad, no man wants you. You get that? So now, how does the vagina taste? I'm excited. Very excited. But how many of you know I'm a stammerer? I just told you. Anyway, so let's go on. Now, how does the vagina taste? Now, the taste of the vagina is normally based on the sort of arousal or the sort of sweat and the sort of diet that you eat. Like I said earlier on, what you eat will determine how you taste. What you eat determines how you taste. So the taste of the vagina is a little off. It is likely the pH of the balance, the pH, when the pH is a little off balance, then it is funny. But if the pH is okay, natural acidic 3.5 and 4, it should taste normal. You shouldn't feel any bad taste, and you won't feel virtually anything. It becomes tasteless. But I tell you, if you are taking in food that is high in alkaline, as a woman, you are eating food that is high in alkaline, you would throw the pH of your vagina off acidity, off balance. And once it is off balanced, you are going to have a lot of smell, a lot of discharges, a lot of discomfort. So it is important that you don't eat food that would take your pH off balance. You're going to ask me, what are some of those foods? I'll tell you as we go along. Okay, now some of the things you don't have to do. Smoking. Women who smoke, women who take a lot of alcohol, this is what you do. smoking gives your vagina a bad, you have bad breath, and then the vulva also smells bad. It smells harsh. When you smoke, it alters the way the vagina tastes. So even though the vagina is going to smell bad, it is also going to taste bad. And then also, it makes the vagina taste bad, like I said. Alright. When you take alcohol, it also affects the taste of the vagina. It makes the vagina taste very badly. It tastes bad. It changes the flavor of the vagina and actually worsens it. Worsens the flavor. And then also, if you booze, it will affect the pH. If you drink a lot of alcohol, it will affect the pH of the vagina. If you use a lot of spices, it will affect the pH of the vagina. If you eat a lot of garlic, it will affect the pH of the vagina. If you drink a lot of beer, a lot of coffee, a lot of alcohol, a lot of red meat, and you do all the dairy and the asparagus, forgive me, sorry. You can also have some of these serious adverse effects if you're eating all the stuff I've put out there. So it is, if you want the vagina to taste good, you have to avoid all this asparagus and all the stuff that you have to avoid them if you're a woman. If you want your vagina to taste good, like I'm saying, you don't have to eat too much spices, you don't have to eat too much of the onions, you don't have to eat too much of garlics, you don't have to drink too much beer, too much coffee, hard liquor, red meat, shallots, asparagus, and all the stuff that I've put there. You have to avoid them if you really want your vagina to taste good. And I tell you, what makes the vagina taste good? Alright, it is clear that when you eat a certain type of food, the vagina will taste good. The food that you eat will make the vagina taste good. The first thing is you have to make sure that you are not dehydrated. You should drink a lot of water. And then if you eat things that are a little sweet, high contents, the things that contains a lot of water, you can decrease the sort of bad fluids that the body produces. So you should drink a lot of water and eat a lot of food that contains a lot of water. And then also, when you eat pineapples, they are good. They make you smell good. They make you feel better. And then if you eat garlic, and then those women who always want to eat pizza, check it, because the pizza will also make your Queen's Palace taste bad. So if you make pizza a regular diet, that every night you are on pizza, you're on pizza, because of the cheese, because of the garlic, because of the onions in there, your Queen's Palace is going to taste bad. You are not happy with that. That is the truth, because those things don't help. You have to eat foods like pineapple, blueberries, mangoes, green tea, cucumbers, and then these ones would make your vagina taste better. And if you really want it to taste better, it means you have to eat these things regularly. I mean, eat them regularly. You have to eat them regularly. It should be a part of your everyday meal if you really want that place to taste good. But if you eat pineapple today and then you expect that your place will taste good tomorrow morning, you're lying. You should eat them regularly. In the same way, if you eat a pizza today and you think it will taste bad tomorrow, no. But if it becomes a regular part of your diet, then you're going to have that bad thing or that bad smell and that bad taste. That is what I want you to understand. Great. Now, alright, so how do you maintain the place? You should definitely have a healthy maintenance techniques. You all know that you're not supposed to put anything there, but I tell you, sometimes you need to treat the place with something. Because so long as you're exposed to bacteria, you use public toilets, you use toilet yourself, and sometimes you ease yourself. There are times when you need to use other products to maintain the pH. You need to drink a lot of water, you need to exercise. Not over exercising, but exercise enough, and then also have to eat balanced meals. When you do these things, it helps your secretions And then also you need to eat healthy food, like I said, balanced diet. When you do them, you're going to have very healthy bacteria. The more you eat these fruit salads to make your vagina taste fruity. And I'm sure you will love the vagina to taste fruity, because whoever it is that is eating it is going to enjoy it. Now, let's look at it. Yes, we all understand that the vagina it takes care of itself, because it needs to take care of itself. And depending on the type or your time of your menstrual cycle, it depends, and that will actually cause a change in the way the vagina feels. But I tell you, once you do not douche, or you don't use scented wipes, or you don't throw your vagina pH off balance, that place is always going to become clean. You have no irritations and you have no infections. But I tell you, if you notice foul smell, and it is there, the smell is there for 3 days and more, then it is important that you see a doctor. Or there are some products that you can use. You need them. You really need them to treat your vagina. You need them. You need them to treat it. So it's important that you do so. So I'm asking this question: so does eating pineapple make your vaginal fluid or ejaculation taste better? It simply means that, yeah, maybe, not really, but you need to do them over a long time. But if you really want to keep the vagina tasting good, you want to keep the vagina smelling good, my contact is 0244 66 10 11. You call me, I can get you exactly what you need to make the vagina taste good, to make the vagina smell good. 0244 66 10 11. Now, what is important? Healthy diet, exercising, and all those things I've spoken about will give you a healthy vagina, will make the place smell good. Now, is it okay to swallow vaginal fluids? Now, you can see that on the picture I have there, I have somebody doing some oral sex, but the person is using something, covered the mouth, wearing a glove. You don't know what it is? It's called dental dam. If you don't know, it is called dental dam. Later on, I'm going to give you details on dental dams, and when you need some, I'm going to find a way of getting you dental dams. Great. Now, the only problem you're going to face with your partner when you are eating vaginal fluids is when the person has some sexually transmitted illness or infection, STI. There's no risk. There is low risk if the person even has HIV. If you have oral sex, there's low risk, unless of course you have cuts and bruises on your lips, and then when you lick, probably it gets into the sore that you have in your mouth, and then you're going to have problems when the person has HIV. But you know what? I even tell you, Stick and Stay with Adults class, like I told you, it is on GNTV every Wednesday between 10 p.m. and 11:30. It is only on this TV station that we give you such clear lecture on your adult life and on sex. Nowhere, no station does that, only on Adults class. It's exclusive to GNTV. Okay, now, like I said, if you want to learn oral sex, how we do it safe, don't worry. We're going to do it here between now and end of March. We're going to teach you every little thing you need to know to have safe oral sex. Yeah, mark my words. We'll teach you. If you really want to do it, if you really want to enjoy it, you really want to learn Tang Kung Fu, I'm going to teach you right here on this station. Now, if the person has herpes, yes, the person can pass it on to you, especially if you have sore in your mouth. Herpes is another sexually transmitted infection. It's actually a virus. Actually, you see some funny growth on the vulva area or on the penis. That is herpes. But if you are in a monogamous marriage, when I say monogamous marriage, I mean you and your husband, you and your wife, you're not cheating. There's nothing wrong. You are not going out and doing any funny thing with any other person. Eating vaginal fluids of your wife is safe. Once you have tested and there's no infection, it actually reduces the risk. And I tell you, once, if you really want to have that and you are not sure, the best thing is to make sure that you use dental dams or microwave. If you have non-microwave You know that those wraps that you use in wrapping food. Yes, you can use those ones to protect yourself from getting direct contact with the vulva or with the fluid that's coming in, especially when you're not sure. But I tell you, I'm going to teach you a little more about dental dams. I'm going to show you how you can get dental dams. Now, the question I'm asking is, what are the benefits of the vaginal fluids? Are they beneficial to you? Are they important? Now, you have behind there organic probiotic yogurt, 100% natural, low fat. But this one and the vaginal fluids, which is more healthier. Now let's look at it. Now you can see here, the vagina is full of the same. The vagina is full of the same. I mean, the same probiotic bacteria that is packed in that yogurt you are eating, that you call probiotic yogurt. I'm sure you have opened your mouth and you are shocked. Yes, full of the same the same bacteria. So the vagina is full of bacteria, good healthy bacteria, if the woman has no infections. That is why you should train the vagina to become strong, get rid of all infections, have a regular pH, and your vagina can feed a man. So if everyone is now eating probiotic yogurt, why not eat the vaginal fluid? It's more healthier. Somebody will be insulting me. May that is the fact. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, so so long as there's no infection, so long as the woman has no infection, the woman is clean, the vagina is healthy, swallowing the vaginal fluids won't affect a man in any way. Mark my words, in any way. Now look at this. I am saying here that swallowing vaginal discharge can prevent heart diseases and cancer. Scientifically proven. I'm not just saying it, it is scientifically proven. Yes, research has shown that eating vaginal fluids keeps you safe from heart diseases and some form of cancers. Yes. Now, the hormones that a woman releases, the DHEA and oxytocin, usually they are released during sexual intercourse. Right? Now, these hormones play a huge role in preventing diseases and cancers. You see? So this means that by eating vaginal fluids, you are acquiring these hormones. By so doing, you are keeping yourself safe from all the named diseases I was talking about. So you see, if you are not cheating on your wife, if you're not cheating on your husband, if you're training your vagina and you are treating your vagina well and keeping your vaginal pH intact, like I said, if you don't know how to do that, 0244 66 10 11, I'll show you, I'll give you all you need to do that. You see, you can save your husband from getting heart attacks. Now, the vaginal fluid also helps in digestion, in digesting your food. It plays a huge role in digestion. And I tell you, the probiotic bacteria you have in there is very effective in aiding digestion. So it is, you have eaten, your stomach is pushed up and your food is not digesting. All you need is probiotic vaginal fluids and then you are good. Echo is laughing out there. That is the fact. That is the fact. So therefore, eating probiotic bacteria from the woman, it's safe and helps your digestion take place well. No jokes. And doctors say that a serve of probiotic yogurt, a serve of probiotic microorganisms helps your intestine. Everything around your gastrointestinal system is protected if you eat vaginal fluids. I'm not laughing, I'm serious. No jokes. Alright, Marshall Wilman. Alright, also now eating vaginal fluids also makes you very happy. It's a mood elevator. It picks up your mood. The vaginal fluids picks up your mood. Yes. Research is showing that the vaginal discharges, when you eat them, when you lick them, it makes you feel happy. It lifts up your mood. So during intercourse, if your head is there, if you are depressed and you are eating the vaginal fluids, it lifts up your mood and takes off your depression. I'm sure you know about the daily or the medical daily. It also says that eating vaginal discharge is a great deal. It's good. It's a very good idea. So I am not saying it. I'm saying that the medical daily, which is a very good document, they have a very good website. You can go and verify this. If I am joking, I'm not. I'm very serious here. And this is adult class on GNTV. It happens every Wednesday between 10 o'clock and 11:30. This is the only place you get such education at. It also helps the brain. It also helps the brain, right? It also helps the brain. It improves your mental state and your physical person. It improves it. And I tell you, if you really want to become smart as a man, according to studies, oxytocin, the endorphins, dopamine, they are all beneficial to reducing the pain that you face. And also, it is better to eat vaginal fluids than to go for a massage. Anyway, my time is up. I'll pause here. Next week when we come, I'm going to give you a continuation of all the benefits you get from eating vaginal fluids. This is the adults class